Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, degens of Web3. This is the ENS Update show where we discuss all things Web3, crypto, NFTs, you name it, we'll talk about it. You have any questions, comments, anxieties, frustrations, we'll talk about it. Come on stage, we'll talk about it. This is an open forum for the entire community. This is ENS Updates, the greatest ENS show of all of Twitter. And that is a self-proclaimed title. Once upon a time, Lil Wayne gave himself the self-proclaimed title of the greatest rapper alive, right? So I'm giving myself a self-proclaimed title of the greatest ENS show of all of Twitter. So what I want to discuss today, ladies and gentlemen, is wow, they added a lot of updates to this thing. This thing looks a little different to me, a little weird. The spaces have long bars, and I see chats and all types of updates I have to get used to. But what I want to discuss here is yesterday, 55 made a tweet, and I just pinned it to the top about a famous Australian influencer. I guess he's a wealthier guy, and they basically asked him how would he make $1 million if he had to start over, or what would he do to make $1 million. And the response that he gave was, I would invest in ENS domains. And the reason he would invest in ENS domains is because a wise man once told him that, if you want to invest or you want to make a lot of money, see where the world is going and get there first. And I think that's exactly where we are. And I think we have a once in a lifetime opportunity here, right? I think the last major opportunity was back in the early 90s, when those guys who acquired their .coms in the early 90s and kind of sat on them. Some sat on those .coms for 20 plus years, right? 10, 15 plus years before they really got the true return on investment that they wanted. So this is by no means a short-term gain. And I think a lot of us are going to get wrecked out in the short term trying to sell these domains. That guy DM'd me yesterday with about a package of about 5 to 6, talking about great domain names. Some of them were single words, so forth and so on. And he's like, hey, I need some liquidity. Would you buy this for 0.2? And I was like, hell yeah, I'll buy this for 0.2. But by the time I responded, I guess he DM'd multiple people, and he already sold the package, right? But if you need liquidity that bad, I don't think the 0.2 ETH that you're selling 6 great mini grails for is worth it, right? I go do something else to go make some money. Go walk a dog, go clean somebody's house, go garage selling, go do something else. But what I feel in my gut is that a lot of us are going to wreck ourselves selling some of these domains so early. There's not a real market for this right now, in my opinion. So what is the rush? This is not, we can't approach this, in my opinion, like how we approach flipping or trading crypto or flipping PFPs. This is not that liquid of a market. So just hold on tight, relax, and enjoy the ride. You get what I'm saying? There's no need to try to flip your domains immediately. Unless you desperately need liquidity, then I said go ahead. And if you really want to flip domains, I say just get into the 10K club. That has the most liquidity in it where you get in and out of positions. But don't try to flip your grail names this early. And this is the last point I'm going to say before I go in and pass the mic, right? The reason I say this is a once in a generational opportunity and see where the world is going first and then invest in it. Ladies and gentlemen, I said this probably this entire time this week. We're going to come to a point of time where every single human being who has internet access is going to be interacting with the blockchain. Sporting game tickets will be NFTs. Airline tickets will be NFTs. Your receipts online will be NFTs. Every single type of transaction we could probably think of will be verified and documented on the blockchain, in my opinion, probably sometime in the 2030s. So we have a ways to go. When that happens, it's only going to make sense that we all have our own personal blockchain identities, or even multiple blockchain identities for the world of Web3. So we're early. Enjoy the ride. Don't be so quick to sell your domains this early, because you'll look back in 5 years and be like, wow, that's like kind of selling your people all the stories of the guys who sold his Bitcoin for pizza, or sold Bitcoin at $50 and it ran to 60,000. That's how early we are, in my opinion. But with that being said, that's enough talking for me for the day. We'll pass the stage over to the NFT verse. The stage is yours, brother.
Hey, GM to the community. I hope everybody can hear me clear. GM to the community, GM to the host, 5159. Thank you as always for tapping in and keeping things consistent. GM to the other co-host, Gary. I see Bashara up here. Yeah, Kev, kind of touching on what you're saying, the one thing that I could kind of step back and try to understand is that, there's going to be some people in here that's going to listen to you, and there's going to be a lot of people in here that's not. There's some people that are going to maybe kick themselves in the butt a few years from now. And then there's going to be a few people in here that's going to celebrate a few years from now. People are going to have their different approaches. People are going to have their different perspectives about what role they want to play in this early stage of ENS history. As far as continuing to build and understand where we stand, you really got to step back and just kind of like the guy in the video that Kev was talking about, the influencer, when he got that bit of knowledge, that little nugget from the guy in regards to understanding and having some foresight of what's coming. We all know the term being ahead of the curve, right? It's certain things that you need to understand and step back and realize, where are you at in this moment in history? Are you part of a paradigm shift? Many of us have never been part of anything early, so we don't know how to take it. We don't know how to comprehend it. We don't know how to understand it. I've never been part of something this early, but what I'm doing is I'm taking my time. I'm taking my time, and then I'm engaging and I'm learning. I'm making sure that I make the right steps. I take the right steps. Will I make mistakes? Yeah. Okay. Everybody will in this community. You'll make mistakes. But the key is to stick around and engage and learn. Because, like I said, 99% of everybody in here has never been involved in a paradigm shift and have never been this early to anything in their whole entire lives. Okay. So we have to kind of just keep that in mind. A long-term strategy will be critical for people who want to stick around. So number one, you got to understand your financial position. You got to understand, what you deem as a grail. You have to use that diagram that Mafiko had presented to the community to bounce some of your domains off of, and really get an understanding. Man, this is a lesson. You are a student right now in this game, and you have to stay a student to continue to learn what's going on. You have to dig deep. You have to research. That's how you remain valid. That's how you remain relevant. You have to never think that you know so much that nobody can't tell you anything. I'll leave you guys with this today. Remain a student of the game, especially this early. Thank you, man. Appreciate it, Kev.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Remain a student of life. Master is currently traveling today, so we do have Gary as our co-host of the ENS Update show. Gary, good morning to you, brother. How you doing, man?
Hey, everybody. Doing very good. Very, very excited. There's a lot happening in the world. I'm super excited just to see all this movement with the ENS subdomains. We have a lot of new votes coming out with the ENS DAO. And so there's 3 votes right now for funding for the ENS subgroups. A lot of interesting items in there. Feel free to check. I mean, you could have a whole show just talking about all the line items for all the initiatives that are being funded, from local grants to major projects that are happening across the governance and the community and the public goods stewardships that we have. Super excited just to see the movement with subdomains. There's the .eth project that's hinting that they're going to be doing some really cool, really interesting things. We're getting closer to the subdomain wrapper from being audited and released. Right, it's an audit. People are looking at it, and and then I'm on one hand I'm cautioning people not to jump in too quickly into wrapping your names before you really understand this technology. Maybe do your testing on a 3rd or 4th tier name before you use your grails. But at the same time, I'm also, as I posted above, I'm thinking that we should all get ready, because we're about to see the new age of initial subdomain offerings. We're about to see ISOs, kind of like ICOs with initial coin offerings, or it's like a cross between that and NFT launch, right? It's another type of NFT launch, and people, they're going to be just going to say, okay, I got this Grail. What would someone say earlier? They had maybe Boulder or something, a city name, New York City, whatever. And maybe there's going to be a whitelist of people that can register their names before the public mint. And then there's going to be a public mint where anyone's going to be able to register, their subdomain. And maybe the owners will limit it at like a 10,000 cap club. At least, I mean, we just don't know, right? But there's going to be all these initial subdomain offerings that are going to build the initial communities of people that have ownerships of, 2nd level domains, right? Let that be, .eth or .New York City or whatever. And I think it's going to be really, really exciting, and there's going to be a lot of additional building with this. And I mean, that's just the basis of what I'm thinking about right now, because subdomains are just on top of everybody's minds. And we could keep on going on and on about that. And the last thing I'll say is, so I don't ramble on, is yes, sign in with Ethereum. Any Web 2 app, any Web 3 app, there's Ethereum influencers, NFT influencers that don't have their ENS names, and there's platforms where you can't sign in with Ethereum and have your username be your identity. And so we want to encourage, let it be something new or something old. We want to encourage sign in with Ethereum to be the standard, and then by default, ENS names will continue being the standard as well, with this new Cambrian explosion of subdomains that we're about to get.
Thank you, Gary. That was phenomenal. We'll keep it moving right along. Let's go over to my boy Bashara. Bashara, man, good morning. How you doing today, man?
Morning, everybody. I'm doing awesome, man. I'm very excited about the subdomains, honestly. I've seen a lot of media outlets the past few days, talking about ENS, and this morning I saw the Yahoo Finance, UK Yahoo Finance, I believe. They issued an article. They published an article talking about it, comparing it to the .com boom and all of that. It's very exciting. I can't wait to experiment with the subdomains, and I definitely know their value and the use cases, and I have shit ton of use cases in my head to experiment with, and I want to do it, man. We want to build on top of it. I can't freaking wait. Awesome, man. I'm glad I could catch your show today. I'm very happy.
Yeah, I seen you speaking on the space last night. I didn't get the chance to tap in. I had a lot going on last night. How was that?
Yeah, it was great. It was great. It was We were me and Leo and probably and Florian from ENS Vision. We were invited to speak on ENS about ENS to a different crowd. So it was a very interesting experience because they're mostly probably, I mean, starting from scratch, and we explained ENS like literally from scratch from to people who are not even familiar with NFTs or the crypto world in general. So it was very interesting. It was recorded. Um, I can share it later. It was very interesting session.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Bishara. We'll go ahead right over to Crypto Reporter. Stage is yours, brother. Crypto Reporter, you there?
Come out the closet, bro.
Get off
Thenftverse,
mute.
man.
All right. We'll keep it moving right along while his hand stays up. I want to say GM to 3402. Good morning.
GM, happy to be here this morning. Hope everyone's doing well. Thanks as always, 5159 for hosting. Good to see Gary up there, NFTverse. Speakers, listeners, let's share the room, get more people involved in the conversation. And to all the listeners, we'd love to hear from you. Your ideas, thoughts, or just to introduce yourself and say hi. As Kev says, this is an open forum. I wanted to share with you all a great concept that 3877 recently put together. It's a, let me see, sorry. It's an ENS expert appraisals Twitter page. It kind of helps to bridge the gap until more tools are built for appraisal services. And it's a small group of about 8 of us he's asked to help with it. I am by no means an expert. And none of our comments, appraisals should be taken as financial advice. We just want to contribute to the ecosystem by just expressing our opinions on the market value of assets. There is a form to fill out if you'd like a domain appraised by our group. We only pick I think it's about 2 or 3 domains a week to give our collective appraisals on. We have it set up in a format where we start with the current market value, a 12-month evaluation, and then we just kind of put notes on how we came to the appraisals. So if anyone has any questions, you can DM me, and I can post the form to the top. But thank you, and I look forward to hearing from others.
Yeah. Please post at the top. I think that's a pretty cool concept and idea. I like. How are you guys? Like, if you could give a quick rundown of how these appraisals are being done, or what's the strategy behind them, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah. So from the Twitter page, we will post the and I think he links it to the ENS Vision domain itself, so you can click on it. It will bring you right to the domain, because some people have avatars that help with the description and kind of give us some of us change our evaluations based on that as well. So if you click on it, it will show the domain that we're appraising, and then the certain amount of people in the group. Like I said, I think there's about 8 of us. We're the only ones that can comment on the actual Twitter page. And so we just have a little format where we just do, and not everybody does a 12-month appraisal, but we all start off with the current market value appraisal, and then we'll put just a little bit of notes how we came up with or came to that conclusion and so forth. I think he's going to grow, so there's more people appraising than just the 8 of us. I think there's going to be eventually about 15 to maybe 20 people, but right now it's kind of a small group of us. And yeah, so you can submit as many domains as you want, but we do only pick about 2 to 3 a week.
Wow, that is real interesting. Yeah, pin it to the top. I would love to dive a little bit deeper than that. I'm pretty sure a lot of people might be interested in learning a little bit more about that. we'll keep the show moving right along, and we'll pass it over to my man's ENSpunks. Good morning, man. How you doing?
Yo, GM Kev, GM, we got the special co-host in the house for the week. That's awesome. And to the other speakers, to all the listeners in the community that are here. Yeah, I mean, it's like I just sort of go off the vibe sometimes, and hearing Gary and Bashar talk about subdomains, I'll kind of I guess two things. So one will be about the subdomains, but both things I'm going to talk about a little bit cryptic. I threw out a tweet yesterday, so kind of circling back, I talked a little bit about this idea of trademarks and stuff, and another look, we have seen time and time again, not just in ENS, but overall Web3, right? You don't need to necessarily point to Bored Ape Yacht Club versus Ryder Rip's lawsuit. There's multiple instances of IP issues coming into play. Some are in court like that. Some are not. Some, specific to ENS, right? We saw IBM.eth taken down, which, I think was improper on OpenSea for just through nobody's fault of their own, actually, except, hey, they sort of improperly used OpenSea's process, which is maybe deficient under the law. And we've seen more recently, right, some entertainment, I don't know what the term is, maybe like it's RIAA, I believe. So they did a takedown request on OpenSea, got a good number of domains taken down, which not even all of them were trademarked. Some of them were individuals' names, some of the executives in Hollywood. So, from a legal perspective, it's not surprising, but it's interesting. I do think that's the first we saw like outright non-trademarked ENS names taken down from OpenSea. So one of the things I tweeted yesterday is, again, a little cryptic, was, in the world I'm living, and people might say, well, ENSpunks are crazy. You're not wrong. But I'd also like to show that besides being crazy, I'm also onto something. And that is the world I live in. It's not Web 2, ICANN, DNS, domains taking ENS domains down from NFT marketplaces. All I've been talking about IP from the very beginning, been working on it for a long time. I've got an idea. I've got a play where I'm going to use a Web3 domain, a .eth, a ENS, and I'm going to attempt to take down a DNS name from an ICANN registrar. And I think the proverbial pieces on the chessboard have been set in place. Nothing I've really done, just other people sort of moving the pieces for the right place for me to do it. It's sort of like, we all, hopefully most people in here, especially our guy who's not here today, Master, he, a lot of support from him. But in general, the way it really worked with Unstoppable Domains and what happened with me and my trademark ENS name was, it was public support. It was support from this very community, from the people in this space, from the people in the ENS community outside this space, from people from the decentralized community outside of ENS. A lot of those handshake people, they are in support of me. Truth be told, a lot of support even from people on the Unstoppable Domain side of things. And ultimately, it was that public support that got things done. I don't want to take any credit for that. Certainly, again, it's like chess pieces in the right place. But at the end of the day, it's the public support that gets these things done. It's the very thing we're talking about with ENS DAO itself, right? The public grants, the public good grants, round one. What we're talking about is if you've got ENS tokens to vote, please vote them. If you're a delegate, like Gary's got a significant amount, please vote. Again, it's not saying, look, please vote for my proposal on behalf of 5159. It's more, apprise yourself, be aware, get involved, and vote, period, vote or die sort of thing. And again, it's like your place to exercise your voice. It is decentralized, and if you're part of the DAO, you've got that voice. And even if you don't have those tokens and you just own ENS names, well, you can still get involved. You can still be part of the DAO forum and educate yourself, keep up to date on these things. It's an important thing. Now, shifting gears again, unfortunately, sort of like this idea I have to take down some Web 2 stuff and flip the script on them. The subdomains Bashara and Gary P brought up, yes, we've got the name wrapper upgrade, but make no mistake, again, this idea of decentralization, there are at least 3 projects I generally point out and say they did not wait. They are doing subdomains and they're doing them well. One of them is Decentraland, one of them is Penelope Country Club, PCC, and one of them is twennicLABS. PCC and twennicLABS, we've had their developers in this very space to talk to us. Again, it's part of that thing, like when 00 comes here, when Furian comes here from ENS.vision. It's an amazing thing to just be able to talk directly with devs, people who are building from the community, for the community. I love to see it. I don't really get to face very often with Web 2 companies and those kind of centralized services, right? I've never sort of sat down and chopped it up with people from Twitter who take my feedback and go ahead and implement it. But we've got that, right, with ENS.vision. We've got that with PCC. We've got that with twennicLABS. So I am actually been working with a bunch of devs for a subdomain project that should be released pre-name wrapper. And I can't give too much, but the contracts are done. The contracts are built off of PCC and twennicLABS contract. twennicLABS used the PCC contract. So there are these, I don't know if the word should be used standardized, but open sourced, tried and true, we know they work, contracts. And so you can build off their open source contracts. It's an amazing thing about decentralization. And, there's going to be some twists, some amazing things, right? So just one example of what I can shed without going too much into it through CCIP, that, look, if you register a subdomain from the project we're going to release, you can actually, it's going to be soul bound. You're not just going to get one subdomain off of one ENS name. You are going to get a subdomain off of other ENS names. And they are, I'll use the word soul bound. Really what it's called is name bound. So you're going to have one record for one ENS name, one subdomain. You'll change it. It will automatically change the records for multiple subdomains that you will own. And you will have an NFT, just like you have an NFT for the ENS name that is, you can buy and sell and trade on the marketplaces. And if you were to sell the NFT, it does not just transfer one of these subdomains. Again, they are name bound. It will transfer all the subdomains. And once the NFT is owned by the new owner, it'll update the owner record, and again, automatically update the owner records of all these other ENS subdomains that are name bound to it. And it's just a little insight into what's really possible. And I'm looking forward to the name wrapper update because it's going to put a lot of power into the hands of people. We are going to see some very fascinating and interesting experimentation. Oftentimes it's said in here, I think the NFTverse says it a lot, is we cannot even imagine where this is all going to go. And I think that's true. And even, hey, we know a lot about the name wrapper update, about the functionality, but even knowing all of that, things can be built on top, and we cannot predict those things. Certainly we can predict some of them, but in terms of how they're actually going to be implemented, I think there's just everything from governmental services to Web 2 services to outright decentralized services, just things I don't think any of us can predict, and I really look forward to it. There's so much, like Gary said, coming out soon, so many things going on right now. It is pretty exciting. So that's it. That's the word for the day.
Thank you, brother. And I'm going to pin the tweet I made. I am one of the participants for this grant proposal that is going on. So I'll love the community support in that vote. If you have any ENS tokens, please give me a vote. That'll be absolutely phenomenal. ENSpunks helped me with that proposal. So we'll keep it moving right along to Rock Opera. the stage is yours. Welcome to the show, man.
What it is, every people's happy Thursday and happy Friday to folks on the other side of the world from me. This may have been chatted about already, but I just haven't captured it. My question is, what happens to currently existing subdomains in a post-subdomain wrapper world when that thing comes out?
The currently existing subdomains are, like all ruggable. That's not a bad thing. It's just the way that those system is currently set up. You would need to go confirm and confer with the second level domain owner and ask them what is their plan to move forward. Are they going to wrap their name? Are they going to burn those fuses? And even if they had the wrapper, that's still not enough for the sovereign ownership. You'd want to know, are they going to burn the fuses, permanently, altering, that name. And so, non-wrapper or with a wrapper, the questions are the same.
So the wrapper can wrap new subdomains as well as existing subdomains.
The wrapper can wrap. Yeah. So there's questions about, like, I got to see the final product to see how the fuses work and if you can wrap a subdomain itself. Like, can I, like, Gary.Palmer.eth, can I use the wrapper for the subdomains? But yeah, you use the name wrapper. You wrap the ENS name, and then once you wrap the ENS name with the name wrapper, then the name wrapper will be able to create or issue subdomains of that name of which was wrapped. So right now people are making subdomains just using the manager.
Yeah.
And the main owner of the second level domain, has access to change the records of those subdomains. The wrapper is a separate contract that will take ownership of the second level domain, and then there's different permissions that can be permanently burnt, such as like ownership of the subdomains, and then depending on which fuses are burnt, will dictate, like, the rules that govern the main domain and subdomains.
Yeah, Rock Opera. It
Go ahead.
just isn't like a real world example. So you can see I've got the triple subdomain off of ENSpunks here. That is real, but let's just use the, alien.enspunks.eth. That is a real subdomain right now. Like Gary said, it's limited in certain aspects. I own it, so that no big deal there. But assume I gave you control of it. Like he said, I could rug you right now. Number one. Number two, it is not an NFT. It exists on chain, but it is not a separate NFT. My understanding with the name wrapper upgrade is, yes, I would be able to wrap alien.enspunks.eth if I want. Again, that's an optional thing. I can wrap it. It'll become an NFT. So that means now I can sell it on a marketplace. You could buy it, for example. To Gary's point, without taking that additional step of burning a fuse, you would buy it and technically it's still ruggable. But again, the fuse is there, another option, just like wrapping it in the first place was an option, a function. There's a function to burn it. So I could wrap it, I could burn it, meaning if you were to buy it, it is trustless. I could not take it back as the, top level owner registrant. So it's not just a yes or no, it's a suite of tools under the name wrapper upgrade contracts.
Yeah, that's what I remember, those conversations. And by the way, I love your videos, ENSpunks. It's a lot of fun to watch. I know I've definitely learned stuff from them. Thank you for putting them on your website. It's cool to hear you actually talk to me. So anyway, so the situation I'm running into is I've got a project. It's going to involve subdomains. So the question I really have underneath it all is, should I wait for this wrapper to come out, or should I just go ahead and start creating subdomains because I can take advantage of those wrapper services later? And what I'm hearing is I can go ahead because I can take advantage of those wrapper services later. Please correct me if I'm missing something.
So when the official ENS name wrapper comes out and everyone's wrapping their name, all the names, my understanding of this right now, all right, like grain of salt, right? All those names that get wrapped under the official name wrapper are all going to get added to the same contract. So when you go to OpenSea, all the apes are with the apes. And if you were to make a different contract and call it mutants, the mutants wouldn't be with the apes, right? Apes and mutants are different contracts. And so if you're just like, moonlighting and you want to be included with all the other names, which is getting the main place that people go to find ENS subdomains, then you're probably going to want to wait for the main ENS wrapper contract. If you want to roll your own and like have your own contract or use someone else's contract, then you got to hope that enough people are going to know about that other place, or that you're going to do good enough marketing to get people to your own homepage, as opposed to leveraging all the work that the ENS DAO is doing to get people to the ENS DAO homepage. You see what I'm saying? I mean, if you could create enough marketing hype to get people to your own contract, then you're probably better served doing that. But if you're not going to do a great job marketing, or if it's not a super great domain that's not going to do its own marketing, then you might be better being a part of the main contract.
That helps. Thank you.
Awesome. I'm going to do a quick reset of the room here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the ENS Update Show. We do the show every Monday through Friday from about 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is an open community forum for the entire ENS and crypto community. Any questions, comments, anxieties, frustrations that you have, come on stage and share with us, and we'll have an open discussion about it. So we'll go to Bishara next. Your hand was up, and then we'll keep moving right along. Thank you, Rock Opera, for those phenomenal questions, by the way. That was good. I learned a lot from that, too.
No, I just wanted to to add a little thing. A lot of people been selling their subdomains, thinking it's they actually sold some subdomains, access or whatever BS that they sold to some people, for a few bucks, and before even the wrapper came out, before everything, I just laughed so hard. I don't know, man. Like, don't be gullible. Definitely don't be gullible. Like, what kind of subdomain did you buy? You know what I'm saying? I'm not laughing at them. I'm just, it annoys me. But, let's just hope everything goes well. And again, I'm very excited to see the wrapper, and I gotta run right now, so I'll definitely see you next time. Kev, thank you for hosting. Thank you everybody for tuning in.
Nice. Have a good one, brother. Appreciate you stopping by. NFTverse, go ahead, man.
Yeah, so I just got a quick question for Gary. This is kind of off topic of the subdomain wrappers, the name wrappers. But Gary, I've been seeing some domains being registered on from the registration bot that have the underscore in them. Anything you could tell me about that? I just kind of wanted to kind of understand. I've seen some here and there, just kind of seen some talks about the underscore, but haven't really dug into it yet. Anything that you know that you can kind of share?
I'm sorry. You're seeing domains registered with the ENS registration bot related to subdomains. Just say the question again.
No, it's basically a parent domain. I mean, it's a main domain, but they have an underscore in those domains. So
right.
Yeah, I didn't know if you knew anything about the whole underscore thing, because I'm just now starting to see that.
Yeah, man, I got a tweet for everything. Yeah, underscores are not going to be. Let me see here. Underscores are people use underscores. It's like a .com thing. It's a Web3 thing. People use underscores. They're not as cool and popular. All right, pinning tweet now to the top of the room. You go check this out, and this is like a retweet from Michael Seiger. And so in this one, he's talking about how first names, last names, valuable, numbers valuable, acronyms valuable, acronyms, nouns, adjectives, verbs, right? Like Grails. And then in his opinion, and he's noting that exceptions do exist. Not as awesome would be plurals and past tense and words that end in ing, and he also puts in hyphens, and you might as well add underscores to that as well, hyphens and underscores. And I would argue that, I mean, I will argue, because I do digital marketing and I do search engine optimization, and so it's sort of like almost a pet peeve of mine, is that you don't ever use underscores in URLs or domain names. You don't use underscores because they're hard to see when they're hyperlinked. When the word is hyperlinked, if you have a domain name, it's hyperlinked, it's hard to see the underlining of the design with the underscore. I mean, listen, I don't think they're great, and I almost think it's kind of silly. But with that being, because I said that, they're probably going to make people some money. And if you have like a really strong keyword like homeowner, and you have home underscore owner, right? Or you have like book deal, you have book on. Some people are just going to try to play with that, because they're gonna argue that book underscore deal or home underscore owner is a better ENS name than homeowner one, right? And they're going to try to have home underscore owner.eth compete with best homeowner.eth, and stuff like that. And yeah, I think they're almost like, third or fourth tier, but because I would definitely shoot for a dash, a hyphen instead of an underscore. Yeah, I really dislike underscores, but I mean, it is what it is, right? And I would double check too that those are legal. I mean, they must be legal, but like they don't draw any ASIC. I'm sorry, they're ASIC characters, right? So it doesn't draw like a yellow triangle. I dislike underscores.
Thanks, Gary. Appreciate that, man.
Yeah, great points. Great points there. I personally also would say I would definitely shoot for a dash before an underscore, just because dashes are a lot more used. And there's some websites that use dashes. People use dashes when they're trying to separate two words in one. So yeah, I think the dash is a lot better in that scenario. But we have quite a couple people with their hand up. We'll go with Crypto Reporter. Go to Loaded Line in 474. Let's get it.
Hey, good morning, everybody. GM. Hope everyone is having a marvelous morning. I know I am. Shout out to the speakers, Kev, Gary, NFTverse here every day. ENSpunks, man, I love your videos. In fact, you've been giving so much alpha, man. You're right about the audio, but you've been honestly giving so much alpha on that. In fact, I'm on it right now. I'm using the information you're giving to me. I'm going to set up this IPFS with on fleek. Yeah, it's going to be freaking amazing, man. Freaking amazing. But I wanted to talk real briefly about just everything that is going on in the community right now. Guys, you don't have to. I was speaking to a couple of people about this the other day, right? You don't have to know how to code, right? You don't have to know anything about design. You don't have to really. You don't have to be real technical with this, right? The thing is, if you can explain something simply, that's what I love about the speakers on the stage. You guys are able to explain complex protocols, especially Gary. But you guys are able to explain such complex systems so simply that people are able to understand, right? And I think that's what we need. Sometimes, and I'm on the fence about this because sometimes I can be a little bit technical, but other times I'm not. How do you say? I'm not trying to make it complex. I feel like if we are able to vocalize and show people how simple this thing really is and how it can be, then we can actually spread the word and make this fire spread faster than it ever has. And so that's why I go back to, you don't have to be a dev to know all this. You can spread the word. Shout out to Sadaf, who's been on it with the TikToks. I mean, come on. Like, shout out to the people that are out there writing articles. I mean, Even Gary was like, okay, maybe I should write a couple articles. You know what? Maybe I should. Maybe I should, because any way to get the word out, any way to spread the revolution as it is happening. Spread it to the audience, to the people you know, the people that you don't know, and the people who are in the know. Like, you reach out to those people, right? The crazy thing, and I'll leave with this, but the crazy thing is, I had the opportunity to speak to a dude that's big in the VC firm, or in the VC space, right? It's called Matt Conwell, and he's actually a part of Something Token. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of it, but it was a couple of months ago that we were able to just be able to speak to him, chat to him about the VC world, VC ventures, and stuff like that. And I had to get off the call, but I told my team at the time, I was like, hey, you guys should really speak to Mac about ENS domains. And I texted them. I was like reminding them. I was talking to them. These were the first people that I was really talking to. I was like, hey, you should, let them know about this. And they're like, oh, okay, all right, bet. So I get off the phone, and it's crazy because I forgot about that whole conversation. I go back. If you type in macthevc.eth, it's that same dude, same guy. And I'm like, and so I got all excited yesterday. I'm thinking, oh, yes, they reached out to him. He knows about ENS. He knows about .eth. And I texted him, like, guys, you guys were the ones that put Mac on, right? And they're like, nah, we forgot about it. And I woke up kind of a little pissed at that, because I'm like, there are opportunities in this space. And it's not just, okay, purchasing, grails or stuff like that. You could be able to be an influencer, or be able to put people on that have a larger sphere of influence. And that opportunity is gone now, So you can play this thing a couple of different ways. You can build, you can give, you can sell, you can buy, but just be smart with it. But I'll leave it with that. Thank you, Kev, for having me on, and like NFTverse always says, I look forward to the discussion.
Hey, NFTverse got everybody saying that. I love it. Yeah, we'll keep it moving. Loaded line. The stage is yours.
Hey, well, thanks for having me up. I just got a question. As in more of, I just want to get your input. So for, I know a few of y'all most likely have like a lot of good names, ENS names. So do y'all just plan on holding them, or do y'all plan on trying to sell them? And I just want to see like what's some other people game plan. And cause I bought a lot of ENS names, but my plan was just to buy a few good ones to sell them. Do y'all plan on holding all these ENS names, or do y'all like what are some of y'all plans?
I think.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Go
go
ahead,
ahead.
Victoria. Too. You good?
I was just gonna say, me personally, this is definitely a long-term hold. I am planning on holding mine for a few 2 to 5 years before I plan on selling them.
For me, it's both. I have short term and long term strategies, right? I think for me, the digits are easy to get in and out of positions. So I like to flip those. Well, I'm pretty significantly in the profit on those. So I'll flip those and get a nice return. For some of my names, I selling it this early won't do them any justice. So I'm kind of thinking about holding those for a little bit longer term, as until we kind of see a little bit more mass adoption.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I pretty much have mine broken up into like categories, right? Ones that that I would consider flipping or selling, versus the ones that I believe hold a wide range value. Those would be my long term holds. And then there's some that I consider just kind of play arounds, maybe good usernames for some folks maybe that are coming into Web3, and want to kind of get something that's rare, a rare combination username or something like that. So I have those two that I'm also willing to sell But again, I've carved out my long-term holds, and those will not be listed for a long time.
Great, thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to get some input, some different ideas of a strategy that I should go about going, to go about. Another thing, if y'all do flip these names often, do y'all just go to different people? Like, how do y'all flip them? Like, y'all just
Flip.
wait for people to come to y'all, or do y'all like go to? Because it's not like a Discord or anything. Or do y'all just post? Do y'all just post them again and again and again? Just
So
Um,
the only
well, go ahead, Kev.
yeah, also the only thing I've personally flipped has been my digits. But I've seen people who flip names and words and things of that nature, and they're pretty active. Not necessarily shilling, but I seen DMs, people DMing people, dropping it under posts where people are asking for you to drop posts under, you know, uh, basically shilling it in an ethical manner. Our guy just shills likes to say that. I think that's where I've seen a couple sales, but just getting the name out there, getting the word out there is probably a good way to go about it. Or what Master likes to say is wait for the true lover, right? The true lover of the name, the true lover of the person who can't live without it. That's when you're going to get the biggest return on your investment. So, but that could be what, 5 years, 3 years, 5 months, we don't know. So those are two ways to kind of go about it.
Yeah, I would say too is that as technology continues to kind of evolve with search engines, for ENS domains, like OpenSea has started to kind of upgrade their search technology. For ENS, of course, you have ENS Vision, ENS Tools, and then the site that the ENS DAO is working on, the alpha.ens.domains site. I think as those tend to mature, then people will find you. I'll just say that they'll find you as those things start to mature.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you, y'all. I just wanted to, give a. I just want to have a good, different outlook on different people who've been, buying a lot of ENS names, and just, have a different strategy. I don't want to see other people's strategies. So thanks.
Yeah, thank you for coming on and asking, bro. The stage is welcome to you anytime. We'll keep it moving with 474, and then we have Tonic Labs next.
Hey, everybody. Just wanted to kind of chime in on the whole underscore kind of dash stuff. So I think there was a thread in the ENS DAO forum that kind of talked about normalizing potentially some of these, emojis, and also, Arabic digits, and a bunch of other kind of characters. And I think in that conversation, Nick had brought up in one of the posts that he seemed to suggest he was okay with underscores and how they were kind of different with hyphens. And then that kind of started up a bit of, a whole bunch of registrations on the underscores. So that's kind of what has, premised all of this. And, while I agree, I think, underscores are probably tier 3, tier 4, whatever reviews are of hyphens and underscores and all that type of stuff. But there is a way to register underscores not using the ENS, search bar. So you kind of have to go into the contract, and there's a couple of people that have thrown out some threads, and I found out about it in the 999 Discord, and a whole bunch of people are, degenning into different words. And, so let's say like God, G underscore O underscore D, things like that. Just looking for some positive expected value. So just wanted to kind of provide a little bit of background. There's a thread in the ENS forum. Anyone can kind of go there, read it, contribute to it, people are trying to find ways to register, single digits. So for example, _1 underscore, or, -1 dash, things like that, using the ENS contract, and then hoping one day that this kind of becomes normalized and quote unquote legitimate. So just wanted to provide some color there.
Thank you for that. I'll take a look into that. If anybody also wants to pin that up, that'll be pretty cool. But we do want to introduce an ENS queen, Tonic Labs. Tonic Labs, the stage is yours. Please give us an introduction about who you are, what you do. That would be great.
Hi, thank you so much. I am Tina from tonicLABS. I've been enjoying listening to everybody here so much. Such great tips and information. I love all the efforts that everybody's putting in as a collective to help onboard others. ENS fam is definitely my favorite part of Web3. So thanks for having me here today. Um, tonicLABS is essentially where we all work to produce tools, analytics, pieces of art that we believe the market can benefit from in a way. This is where all of our team members get together, brainstorm, and we're trying to build this Web3 ecosystem alongside the community that helps grow and improve the space in a way. I mean, I'm super excited to get to work on building something specifically for the ES community. We've just had our hands full for a while with the projects on hand, but I can't wait to get to that point. But in the meanwhile, I've definitely been having fun with you guys just minting out domains and degenning. So thank you for having me here today. I am available for any questions you guys might have.
Cool. Yeah, I want to give a shout out to 3402 for inviting you to join us on the party today. So thank you for pulling up. Thank you for joining the conversation. And yeah, you're always welcome to the stage. So we'll keep it moving right along. If anybody has questions for Tina, please feel free to ask. But we'll keep it moving to another ENS queen, Sadaf. Sadaf, the stage is yours.
Hey guys, thanks for having me up. I'm still kind of getting my morning routine in, but it's been kind of crazy. I've been watching YouTube videos and reading articles already. I don't know if maybe I was a little bit late to the space and you guys already talked about it, but Yahoo Finance released an article today. ENS Vision dropped some updates. There has also been a CoinGecko video that was released on ENS, so it's been pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Have you guys discussed any of this stuff yet?
Oh yeah, we haven't gone to the ENS Vision updates yet. We did discuss Yahoo. If you want to give us some more insight on what ENS Vision is doing, that would be great.
Yeah. So ENS Vision, people have been asking for minor but specific updates for certain features for them. One of the things that they added today was charts. So for like categories and collections and stuff, you can now view the chart right at the top. It's like super aesthetically pleasing. They made it, the design is really nice. And you can kind of just like move your cursor over it and it gives you all of the information that you need. And then they also added the sweep feature. So you can like sweep floors, which is super neat. That's pretty exciting. I think that's going to be something that will be used a lot when we have new trends and stuff coming out. And then they added some updates to the profile section as well. The profile now gives you access to all different types of domain platforms and websites and stuff. Again, it's just kind of a hold your cursor over it and it pops down with a drop down box. So yeah, I talked to Zero a little bit ago. They're going to be releasing some more updates this week and next week as well. So pretty exciting stuff.
Love it. And thank you for those updates. What about your next TikTok video? What is that going to be about?
Yeah. So actually, the next TikTok video is going to be specifically about ENS Vision's marketplace, and I'm going to be releasing that in a couple of hours, probably like 3 hours from now. So noon my time, 3:00 East Coast time.
Love it. Yeah, we look forward to watching it and retweeting it and sharing it out. So thank you for all that you do for the community. If you guys don't know Sadaf, she's not a regular on this show, but she hosts some amazing ENS spaces herself. So give her a follow if you can. We'll move right along over to Novak. Novak, the stage is yours, brother.
Hey, good day, everyone. I'm just about to bounce out to a meeting with the front-end dev for Quixotic, or for Optimism, rather, actually, for Optimism and larger. network. So and that's with our great friend Slon from the 100K Club, and it's in reference to the 100K ENS Cat PFP. So I just want to let everyone know I'm about to run over there, and we're gonna be talking about that right now and trying to figure out next steps with all that. I was speaking with Tree, great developer for Doogie's community, about different ways that we can soul bind and sub bind some of these tokens, and then a reporter in the house, man, one of the best web designers, graphic designers, web layout Figma designers I've ever seen. So I shouldn't even say that now because I want to partner with him on a bunch of stuff, and you guys are going to be ransacking him. But Crypto Reporter is a true talented individual. And so anyway, I got to bounce this thing, but I just want to say good morning and feed a question to Tina. Hey, why didn't you talk about Decrypt? These guys are going to love hearing about Decrypt. So it would be so cool if you could share about Decrypt, but I can't listen. I got to bounce. So good morning and see y'all.
Hi. So, sure. So Decrypt is basically one of the things that we're working on that I'm super excited about. It started with us just struggling as, investors in the market. And then we were like, we got to do something about this. There's just not too many tools, analytics tools out there that are easy to use, user friendly. So we started building Decrypt, and it's basically a smart money tracking platform for NFT projects that provides quantitative and qualitative data flows across a wide range of metrics to help with your research. We've developed a bar chart graph to make technical analysis much easier, fully customizable with real-time insights so you can stay on top of the trends. Data we're providing to our users is not relying upon just one source of information. So we're collecting data from multiple locations. It goes through accuracy, filtration, and it's just basically to just help you, make better investment, build more information. But yeah, we have a bunch of projects on hand. We have Boomerang coming up, which is an NFT generation platform that also offers a feature that I can't talk about yet, but it's something super new for the market. So we have some stuff on hand. We have some NFT projects coming out. One's going to be a free mint, but it also has the utility because we're trying to make the market more healthy and kind of step away from, just free mints taking liquidity from the market and just going, rug slowly. So I check us out. We have a lot of exciting stuff. We've been working for a year on just building because we do want to come to the market with everything ready to go and not just promises. But yeah, thank you for the question. But I'm here if anybody else has any questions.
Nice, thank you. That was great. Let's keep it moving right along, and then we'll probably call this one a day pretty soon. We did add 253 to the stage. 253, what's up and welcome to the stage.
Yo, hey everybody, what's up? GM, first of all. Sorry, I'm not exactly on the topic of discussion right now because I'm in another meeting. I asked for speaker a little bit ago and I got it, but yeah, sorry y'all. I've been listening for like the past 30 minutes and thank you for everything.
No, it's all good, bro. It's all good. Yeah, thank you for just coming up and saying
My
what's up.
emojis.
There we have it. That is the alpha of the day, emojis. We'll keep it moving right along, bro. 1289, aka Magnum, the stage is yours. What's up, bro?
Hey guys, great discussion about these underscores. I think I forgot about them in the 90s, to be honest. But I don't know. I don't know what to think of this hype. The thing is, I'm coming around with the dashes, to be honest, because some of these keywords are just too long and I cannot understand them. I have to read like 2 or 3 times. So I guess there's some kind of there's a point to the dashes, and I can see where some companies would value the dashes a little bit more than a combo of 2 words. Perhaps if the idea is to have usernames, maybe that's a good bet. I don't know. What do you guys think?
So I'll take this one. This could be a long shot, but I think the dash on some words are a lot cleaner than without it. for some longer two combination words, I think the dash there just it makes it so much clean. Like sales associate, I think a dash right there cleans it up a little bit. Leasing manager, I think a dash right there cleans it up a little bit. So what my strategy has been for a couple months ago, I just kind of accumulated about 50 or so, 50, 60 profession related names. And as I was accumulating those names, leasing consultant, sales associate, or whatever, I sat and I thought, man, the dash actually makes a lot more sense and looks a little bit better here. So the ones I got double of the ones that were still available. I got the regular one and I got the dash version, and we'll see how they play out. But I'm a big believer in the dash in certain instances, right? In certain instances, I think it's just clean. In certain use cases, it doesn't really flow well. So two dashes, I'm not a big fan of. One dash for a complex two words in one, I think it fits well. So that's just my thesis. We'll see how it plays out. I have conviction in it, and I'm okay with it going to zero if it doesn't work out in the long run.
Can I ask Gary what he thinks of that coming from Web 2 with the dashes for domains?
Yeah, the dashes are I mean, they're less premium than no dash. I mean, it's kind of funny. I was like young, but these were all questions that people asked back then. They were like I remember corporations, like business owners, they would be like Acme, or just whatever, like ABC XYZ Incorporated, but ABC Business Incorporated, and they felt like they were legally obligated because their lawyer told them every single domain name had to have INC and at the end of it. They thought their domain name had to be abcbusinessinc.com. It was like hilarious. Yeah, people didn't know if they should use dashes or not dashes. And then eventually the world settled on, no dashes is better. And then, but then what happens, like I was sort of saying earlier, if you have like a really valuable, word like home loan, right? You would probably rather have loan than home loan. And you'd probably rather have home loan than home dash loan. And then, if you can't get homeloan.eth, then the question is, do you want best homeloan.eth? Do you want home-loan.eth? It's like, well, I don't like the dash, but having the dash is shorter. It is super clean, And if it's for a group of keywords that there's a lot available, then it's probably not worth it as much. But if you're in a group of keywords that's highly competitive with a lot of demand, like banking and loans, then it's just going to be increasingly difficult. I mean, because obviously the best homeloan.eth must already be taken, right? If it's not, you trust me. And the home loan, the homeloan.eth, best home loan, eventually none of those are going to be available, right? And then home loaning, ing, I mean that's not premium, but home loaning is probably better than, something else, right? So you just have so many names that are taken around a particular area because there's so much opportunity plus building that that eventually the dash becomes really enticing for somebody because they're not going to get, for their budget, they're not going to get anything better than home dash loan. But if there are a lot of options available and you're not having to resort to dashes yet, if it's still 11 o'clock at the bar and not 2:30 at the bar, there's a time and there's a place.
Yeah, I think that was a really good explanation. 3402 had her hand up. If you want to add on to that or ask your own question.
Yeah, I actually did have a question for Gary as well. Just regarding the registration fees for 3-letter and 3-digit domains. I understand paying $650 a year for those. There's a lot of different use cases, but with the 3-character emojis, I know they're highly sought after, but to have such a high premium when there are less use cases, what are your thoughts, and do you foresee that changing specifically for emojis?
Are there less use cases for emojis? It seems as if there's the same number of use cases,
Well, if you
plus
have,
advantages and disadvantages.
say, well, if you have like 123.eth, you could do a lot more than if you have cold face, cold face, cold face.
I object.
Isn't yeah? But I'm playing some devil's advocate here, because I know what you're saying, but I want to play devil's advocate here. Isn't that the same thing as saying, let's think. Isn't that the same as saying IOU, 3 random vowels, but it means something in English, right? It's like IOU. It's like that. You could have like an IOU thing, or V like isn't IOU better than EOI? Can't you do more with IOU than EOI? And can't you do more with IOU than 1111? Right?
But
So
I feel like you can still do a lot more with those versus specific emojis.
Should we make dictionary words more money than non-dictionary words?
I just want to spend less money to get these 3-character emojis. Bottom line. I just want to lower that registration fee.
So I think
you can go take that to the DAO.
Yeah, so I think it's interesting. I think you could take that to the DAO and that could be proposed. I do see how it has some validity, but I also think that it would sketch some people out. I think people like me and other people, like thinking about myself, speaking for myself, I can understand why, and I could see a use case for maybe making the emojis more, 3-character emojis, pure emojis. What if it was pure emoji or any emoji? I mean, how do you define that? How do you scale that when a new emoji comes out? There's like some questions in there, but then it touches upon the whole pricing part of the DAO, and it becomes really scary, kind of like, yeah, it's like, do we want to open up those bags of worms?
Awesome. We have quite a few people with their hand up, so we'll keep them moving right along. 253, the stage is yours. Our triple. How do you pronounce that emoji? What emoji face is that, bro?
It's the cold face emoji.
Triple cold face. Okay, I'm gonna start calling you. Triple. Gotcha.
Indeed. Thank you. So yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the why is one domain more valuable than another? I think we're talking about like a pool here, really deep pool. There's domains all throughout the pool, some of them floating to the top, some of them going to the middle, some of them going to the bottom. This exists with dictionary words. We all know that. This exists with numbers. We all know that. It also exists with the emojis, right? Like, you're totally right that some emojis are going to be really hard to communicate to some people. Like, there's an emoji for every position that an hour can have on the clock. So like, I could have 1 o'clock clock emoji, 2 o'clock clock emoji, 3 o'clock clock emoji .eth, right? And of course that's like a little bit hard to translate. But I think that with enough time, once people get full understanding of how limited the emojis are, there's only like 3,600 of them, how few Unicode adds every year, and how that's trending down year over year, combined with the global significance of the emojis and the usage, is going to drive their prices pretty astronomical. That's my opinion, not financial advice. So with that in mind, I believe that, this reg fee isn't going to be like a big deal. The people that are collecting the pure emojis, like the triple cold face, these people have a lot of money. If you go research the emoji holders, they've had a lot of money. They bought the emojis just for fun, basically. And now it's really hard to like get them out of their hands because they kind of became attached to them. And they're punks. They're like, they're tokens that, say I was here first and this is my flag in the sand. And with that, we don't just have one identity in Web3, right? Like, I have a bunch of emoji domains and I want to rotate them out. This is a funny story because I have the whale emojis. I have the triple whale, which is like a grail, but I'm so attached to the cold face emoji that I can't bring myself to update my registrar and turn into the whale emoji. So that's just a little insight onto like the attachment that we have to them, the significance, and then a little bit about the translatability of the emojis. Like, some of them are more used than others, and that gives them different values. And I think you'll see that as time goes on.
Thank you, man. I think you make great points. I love how, a lot of wealthy individuals, they don't care to sell them, especially not this early. They're not going to care to sell them. It's just a token of appreciation. It's a token of being early. It's a token of status. once some of these domains get into certain individuals' hands, they might never leave until that person is probably deceased, to be honest, and it goes on to the next one. But we'll keep it moving right along to yoga. The stage is yours, and then we'll go to Capitano.
Thanks. I'll be quick. I appreciate Gary playing the devil's advocate. I'll play the other side of that. IOU works in English language, but emojis work in any language. So I'm just playing the other half of the devil's advocate here. Bless.
Cool. There we have it. Captain, we'll probably end the day on you. The stage is yours. Take us home, Anchor.
All right. So yeah, Capitano here. You might have seen me operating in ENS meme with 64.eth. And I wanted to touch on the point of the emojis. Thank you for having me. And your question 3402. I do have a direct answer to that. I think it's kind of a cheap solution. Cheap, I say that kind of like lightly, but I see a lot of value in the triple emoji with hyphens. And Ordinal Club, we were chatting the other day, was kind enough to send me the paste bin for the triple emojis. And I run a little script on Excel and a website I found and sent it to GitHub. So there's going to be, well, my intention with those, I did stack up on quite a few of them. I think they're really cool. They look like, the way I like to call them is emojis on chain. So they have these little hyphens between them. Some of them look better than others, obviously. They're going to have less monetary premium. But I do think they're clean. And sometimes, let's say, for example, beef looks like a beef stick. So things like that. And so yeah, that might become a club on ENS Vision. And I think there's still a lot of them available that are really cool. So I wanted to share that. Happy Tuesday? Yeah, happy Tuesday. No, Wednesday. Fuck, I don't even know.
Bro, today this man said happy Tuesday and then happy Wednesday, and today's Thursday. That is hilarious. Yeah, NFT verse, Gary, any final words before we call this one a day?
And no, I'd just like to say, man, thanks again for hosting an amazing space. 5159, as always. Much props to you, to the co-host, Gary. Thanks for popping in. Me and Gary kind of 5159 pulls us off the bench. His starters were injured today, so we came off the bench, and Gary produced and I produced. I mean, when you can get 20 points off from your bench players, that's a big time play in basketball. So we stepped on up.
Position gets took every day, bro. So that's how it's like.
Definitely. Sadaf, thanks for popping in. ENSpunks 3402. Cold Face, I call him Iceman. I call you Iceman. That's my name for you. Yogara, Tonic, thanks for stopping through. Capitano, man. Everybody have a great Thursday, man. I'm looking forward to Friday. I don't know about y'all, but I'm gonna go ahead and hand it off to Gary.
Hey, yeah, invite them to the happy hour, bro.
Listen, let me say this, okay? Every Friday night at 9:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, something happens in the Twitter world. There's something that crazy goes on in the Twitter world. And you guys may not be used to it because you're used to just doing crazy stuff in here talking about ENS domains 24/7. But I got a place you can come. I got a place where you can kick back and relax, grab a little something to sip on, maybe even smoke on. It's totally up to you. Come to the ENS, the World ENS Friday Night Happy Hour, guys. This is where you can kick back, relax, and have an amazing time and not talk about all the other crap you've been talking about Monday through Friday afternoon. All right? Stop through 9:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're coming live from the virtual pub. So please join us. Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll be there.
All right, Gary, anything from you before we end this thing, bro?
Oh man, This has been a great show. Thanks for co-hosting with me, the NFT verse. And yeah, I love those Friday night happy hours. I know we're not allowed to talk about ENS, but a lot of ENS jokes go flying. We can't do what we do, even when especially when we're drinking or smoking or just up being late with friends. Listen, I wanted to first of all I wanted to give a shout out to all the authors and all the writers at web3domains.com. I really appreciate the content that has been generated by those authors for me and for the website. And I definitely encourage people to go check out Web3 Domains and take a read at some of the content there that's been generated by some awesome people in our community. People that could show up to rooms like this. Some of them are in this room right now. Thank you very much for just being thought leaders. And for other people in the room, each of you guys are thinking, each of you are having thoughts, and all it takes is for you to share your thoughts with other people, and then you can be a thought leader, or you can be a thought sharer, or you can be a thought builder, or you can be like a thought reinforcer of what's a good idea. Just a couple minutes a day, putting out some tweets, thinking about how do I'm not great at taking all this time right now, but just put yourself out there and give yourself a couple writing tips to create some content for yourself. And then what I want to close on is that the ENS DAO right now at ensgrants.xyz. Right now there are micro grants. There are 5 1 Ethereum grants that are up for grabs. It's not insignificant. 1 Ethereum is good money. It's about $1,500, and it could go up, it could go down, but people could use it right now to support the work that they're doing. And these are, some of these people are probably messing around. Some of them are serious. You can go through each of the proposals, but one of those proposals is Kev 5159 for ENS, for fire emoji, ENS updates fire emoji. And if you were holding any ENS tokens, if you have any votes for any of your wallets, you can go there and you absolutely should participate. It's not even like a recommendation. It's like, if you're here, if you care about ENS, if you want to do more than just listen and figure out how to make money, you're not going to make money without supporting the community of which the thing is of money. And so we have to fight and we have to build. And because we're all like, man, when's this going to be valuable? It's like, we're waiting for you to reinforce what we're doing here, and helping Kev by voting 5159 and just looking at votes and some supporting people and tweeting and showing up to this room. I want you to know that is significant. And if you continue these positive steps, maybe not tomorrow and maybe not next week, but you're going to look behind you, and with positive steps and a positive mental attitude, you're going to be very happy where you put yourself. And you got to take care of yourself. You don't want to be taken advantage of. But it's definitely about working with the community and collaborating. So thank you, everybody. Vote on Kev's proposal.
Yes, Kev for King. Vote for Kev. It's crazy how this is last now that he said vote for Kev. It's crazy how I got this name. I got this name Kev for King because I actually won King. I ran for King. I won King, and as part of my campaign was I changed my whole name to Kev for King. Vote for Kev. So yes, vote for Kev. I'll be very grateful and appreciative of that grant. And if I don't get it, guess what? The show goes on. And with that being said,